Welcome to this live on ServiceNow webinar about activating and configuring predictive intelligence. So, well, most organizations get the value of sophisticated analytics, but many are just starting to understand what machine learning can bring to the table. So in this session, we want to dive into this and well, show you how ServiceNow Predictive Intelligence can make work better for everyone. And you will leave this session with an understanding what you can do and how you can jumpstart your activation. So just a safe harbor statement about some forward-looking statements that might be in this presentation. Well, the basic thing is don't make any decision based on what you see in this presentation, as this might include or might be part of those forward-looking statements. Some housekeeping rules. We prefer that you stay on mute. There will be a Q&A after this presentation. However, if you have questions during the presentations, there is a Q&A button available in which you can ask your questions. We will try to answer them during the session, or otherwise we'll come back at it after our presentation. This session will be recorded, by the way. It will be shared on the ServiceNow Community forum after the session, and you will also be prompted to fill out a short survey after this session, because we appreciate your feedback to make these webinars better. Some other comments on this webinar series. So today's session is part of the live on ServiceNow. It's a curated event series to connect you with ServiceNow experts and peers that can help you deploy your products and achieve value faster. So we hope you join us again at another session. We will post a link in the chat so you can check out the other upcoming events in this webinar series. So, well, thanks for joining us today. We are with two of us presenting today. My name is Joost van Poppel. I'm an advisory solution consultant for Now Intelligence. I'm based in the Netherlands, and Now Intelligence, we cover, among other things, virtual agent, predictive intelligence, performance analytics. So we always say all the cool stuff on the platform, and I will later in this webinar, I will show you a demo about predictive intelligence. And today I'm joined with my colleague, Timo.
So hello, thanks for joining us today. So my name is Timo Weber. I'm also an advisory solution consultant on the same team as Joost. So we are both colleagues. I'm located in Germany in the wonderful city Bremen, and let's start it today. Who does not remember this? This is the movie about artificial intelligence, Matrix, in the year 1999. Obviously, this is not something that we are aiming for when implementing our AI capabilities with predictive intelligence. But what is predictive intelligence about, and what do we want to accomplish from a business perspective? How does PI relate to artificial intelligence? What can you do with it? How does it bring value to your business? To answer this question, we first want to ask you a question in the form of a short poll. What do you know about PI? Please take just a couple of seconds and give us your thoughts about that. So number one is, I'm relatively new to predictive intelligence, so that's why I'm in this webinar. Number two is, I know the basics and I want to know more. And third is, I know how this can be benefit my organization, and I'm looking for ways how to implement this. And four is, I'm actually currently in the process of implementation or have already implemented this. So happy to see some answers. There's still some upcoming things. And most of our 50% of you, just that we have a small amount of recap there, are relative new to predictive intelligence. So thanks for joining us, but we have also some folks with us who know about predictive intelligence already. And we also have two of those who joined who are in the process of implementation. So thanks for joining. So let's start. What kind of challenges does IT service departments have typically? So when looking at IT service departments, one of the main challenges is the scalability of these departments. You invest by hiring and training agents, acquiring software, licenses, and have operating costs. And as a return, you get improved CSAT, hopefully, from the users for whom you are providing support. However, this ROI or CSAT only goes so far as and flattens out. You can spend as much as you want, and at some point, this will not make your service desk more effective. They have become as effective as they can be. Okay, but how to solve this? Well, actual predictive intelligence can make your service desk more effective and efficient by applying machine learning frameworks to your business processes. So AI and machine learning can help, but where do I start? This is the second challenge. Where and how should I apply the capabilities of predictive intelligence? Should I start complex or more streamlined? Where can I make the most benefits for my company? And yeah, if we figured out where and how to implement predictive intelligence, the third challenge is to find data scientists and AI specialists to implement and tune these machine learning algorithms, get them to work and apply them in my business processes. But do you actually need to have a degree in data science or get predictive intelligence to work? So what is the significance of AI and ML? A human mind is great at solving difficult problems, dealing with new situations, making hard decisions with limited facts like what can I eat at lunch when going to the supermarket and my fridge is empty, finding creative solutions like pasta with tomato sauce. It's all the time available, right? And so much more. Then there are the things the human mind is not so good at. We are not built to spot subtle patterns in gigabyte of data. I currently process thousands of transactions or search vast databases for pertinent information. And now what if you could instantly recall solution to known problems or quickly find needles of relevant information in the probable data haystack, or automatically make a current assessment such as the best place to assign a specific task? Your employees would or could work smarter and faster, make better decisions and fewer mistakes, and focus on more meaningful and satisfying work instead of repetitive tasks. And for your business, that could be translated to higher productivity and lower costs, increased customer satisfaction and more motivated employees, and less business risk. That sounds pretty amazing, right? Now let's have a look at ServiceNow purpose-built AI. So what we have first is we have the Now platform in the middle. So our AI and ML is built in the platform on the same layer as our technology workflows, customer workflows, employee workflows, or creator workflows. It can be used across all workflows that we have on the platform. And we have there three kinds of purpose-built AI. We have our predictive intelligence, and this webinar is about predictive intelligence. We have different kinds of the frameworks. We have regression, we have clustering, similarity, and classification. And you will learn more about that in a couple of seconds. But we have also our purpose-built AI called natural language understanding. And this is really natural language understanding processing. We have our natural language query for reporting stuff. We have on foundational NLP, or we have also something called natural language Workbench, where you can start digging in, finding out, tune your engine, etc. And we have search and automation. AI search, giving you recommendation, giving you trends, giving you more information, more results. And we have something called automation discovery, where we are using parts of the predictive intelligence to show you more benefits that you have on the platform. But today we are focusing more on predictive intelligence. And there we have our four frameworks. and we will start with that. We have our classification framework, and with classification, we can predict fields based on historical data. Think about predicting a category or an assignment group when creating an incident, or when an incoming email is finding out what is it about, to which group can I send it. This is really about prediction. Then we have similarity. With similarity, we can show, for example, similar resolved incidents to an agent when handling an incident. Being able to access the solution of similar incidents will help solve the issue faster, lower the mean time to resolve, free up services agent to be available for new tasks, and increase CSAT. The third one is regression. This can be used to predict numerical outputs like, for example, mean time to resolve, MTTR. As customers and employees are more satisfied with faster resolution times, organizations can improve efficiency throughout the services and improve experiences for customers by correctly setting expectations. When ETTR is available, services can assign resources to cases and incidents that are associated with longer resolution times, therefore speeding up to the processes and improving customer satisfaction. And we have clustering as the fourth one. Clustering can group incidents into clusters by identifying patterns and continuously grouping similar items. When you have the output of clustering, this can give you insights into the biggest topics within your incidents. For example, do I have a lot of account logs? Do I have a lot of SAP issues, Outlook issues, or password resets, ID changes, and so on? When you have those insights, you can start addressing those incidents. Start deflecting incidents by allowing for self-service via the virtual agent, find automation opportunities via integration capabilities, or can I improve my knowledge base, for example? So what can predictive intelligence do for you? And I already mentioned some things of that. With our purpose-built predictive intelligence platform, you can focus on your business outcomes. We enable process owners to build machine learning models based on their desired business outcomes with no coding skills needed at all. But for sure, you can use no code, low code, or even pro code if you want. It is up to you and your center of excellence that you have available. Allow machine learning to flag similarities across issues to quickly identify and resolve critical incidents. We are able to detect, for example, major incidents and recommend those directly to the agents. But this is not only for critical incidents. We can recommend actions also for all kinds of tasks we can suggest. Relevant information or tasks to help agents solve issues faster, like here's a resolution that could help. Here's a knowledge base article that helped previously. So really similar things. And if we talk about resolving issues faster, mean time to repair, routing, assigning, and prioritizing at scale will help you to reduce the mean time to repair. Reduce the manual work and errors and start automatically classifying and predicting specific information on task level. And last but not least, you can use machine learning to mine your incidents, request and interaction data, identify knowledge gaps, and find new automation opportunities, which you can cover with Integration Hub or Virtual Agent or specific information on a portal or a catalog. So how to start with predictive intelligence? And we choose an example, the classification framework. And just to recap, classification was how to predict fields on the form. For example, predict the category, predict the assignment group based on historical incidents. And where we can start is, and we have 3 phases for that, is understand your desired outcomes and your data. The desired outcomes is, for example, lower mean time to repair and reduced reassignments. So for that, you could check simply your data and see a heat map and classification reassignments. It's a simple heat map for category on the one side and the reassignment count on the second side, or on the second scale. That you can see where do you have huge reassignments and what to do in which time frame. So understand your data, try to find out where does predictive intelligence fit the most for you. And the second step is, for sure, install the plugins. You need basically to start with 2 of them. Predictive intelligence, this is a group, the first one, and predictive intelligence for incident management, an example, but for sure we have it for incident management, for change management, for catalog, for knowledge, for case, a couple of things that you can check out in the store, which comes out of the box with out-of-the-box models, which really help you. And we have something called predictive intelligence Workbench. where you have use cases available that you can simply go through, see the value, train the model automatically with one click, tune the model, and Joost will show you later how this is done. And then really start digging in and using predictive intelligence and using the classification framework. And the third one is tune your models. So if you've done the first thing, it could be that you need to tune your model. And here's some examples. This is a solution statistic that is available out of the box. It's showing you for which assignment group you have a confidence, a distribution, and a coverage. And you can really see for which group you have the best value. You have the best values to start with and where you have to tune something. And tuning can be done, for example, with a bubble chart, where you can see everything what is on the left top side, you can and should move to the right top side. So everything what is in the right top quadrant, the best values, and you can use it the most. But you can for sure add more use cases. So not only using the Workbench with no code, you can also use the flow designer, for example, and integrate your incoming email inbound action that you have already in the flow designer and use the action called classification and prediction, which is available out of the box there. Here's just a screenshot, and it's described very well in the docs, where you can leverage the integration hub and the classification framework with no coding. It's just moving the actions, defining the thresholds, and the action that at least should be taken. So these are the three things, the three steps on how you can start. And I will now hand over to Joost, and he will start again with a short question to you.
Okay, thanks, Timo, for this explanation about predictive intelligence. So just another poll or quiz question. So how much data do you need for a machine learning model to function correctly? So we gave you a few options. What do you think fits best? So 100,000 from the last 2 years to take into account seasonal activities, or only 50,000 to account for seasonal activities, 30,000 with event-generated records excluded, or 10,000 records with a good spread of the data you want to predict? So just let some coming in, and in fact, everybody is choosing for option 4. And well, the thing here is a bit maybe a bit silly question, but there is no real good answer. We have a short sort of rule of thumb stating that you need 30,000 records for all of our machine learning models. So if you have 30,000 records, you're good to go. So that's a rule of thumb. But in fact, 10,000 records could also be a good way to start. So there is no specific threshold value. The point here is that if you start with building and training your machine learning models, you will be presented with metrics, how good your model is performing. So you can actually measure how well your model can predict certain outcomes. And we also measure if this is actually true. So we use this as a sort of segue into the next slide. So Timo is still presenting. So we have some model statistics available that you get when training a model. So if you would train your model with 10,000 records, you could still have a perfect model with good precision, good coverage, good net automation. And I just want to highlight these concepts with a simple example. So consider this: we have a picture of a lot of dogs and cats, and we have a machine learning program for recognizing dogs in pictures. And in this particular picture, it identified 8 dogs containing actually 17 dogs and some cats in between. And then out of those 8 dogs it identified, so it should have identified 17 if it was absolutely perfect, but it found 8 dogs. Out of those 8 identified dogs, 5 are actually dogs, and the other 3 are cats. So this is giving the metrics and the model statistics, so to say. So the precision of the model would be, in this case, 5 out of 8, so approximately 62-63%. The coverage will be 8, so it should have recognized 70 dogs. It only had 8 dogs, so 47% is the coverage. And the net automation is the product of both. So it's the product of the precision and the coverage. So it is 62% times 47%. So the net automation is 29%. So I just highlight these concepts because they come back in the demo, and there's actually a trade-off between precision and coverage, which you can sort of present in the following graph. So think about precision. If the solution is set only to predict when it's very sure, so if you have a high precision, then it will make fewer predictions. So you can tune your model this way. Or if you, on the other hand, want to have a big coverage, so if the solution should always make a prediction, then the chance that it's being less accurate when it makes a prediction becomes higher. So when tuning your model, you have a trade-off between precision and coverage. And of course, the key here is a balance. So what's the optimal setting? And there are some tips in tuning this model. So good thing to remember is machine learning will rarely be 100% precise or accurate, or it will never be completely sure. And actually, our goal of machine learning and predictive intelligence is to be more precise than our human agents. So we want to optimize the service desk. We want to lower this mean time to resolve. We want to lower the amount of errors happening with those monotone tasks. And then the goal is to be more precise than human agents. And what we typically say is that if you have a model with a precision higher than 70% and the coverage higher than 80%, then the model is more accurate than a human agent would be. So actually, that's where you're sort of aiming for. So if you have a model coming back with numbers below that, you should actually start excluding classes or optimizing your model with better data. So if you have coming back to this poll question, if you have 100,000 records and your model comes back with 50% precision and the coverage of 40%, then you have 100,000 records, but still the model is not good enough, and you could better do using your human agents. So that's the key takeaway of this sort of technical deep dive in the tuning of our model. And this also comes back in the demo. So we have something prepared for you. We have a few demo scenarios available. So as Timo mentioned, for incident management, we have the Predictive Intelligence Workbench. And in this Predictive Intelligence Workbench, we have some predefined use cases available. I will show you tuning, how you can tune those machine learning models. So when you implement one of those use cases, you will also be presented with tools to tune your machine learning models. We will in between see how those machine learning models work. So we will use, again, classification as an example and see how this works, or how does the machine learning model work, and automatically route those incidents. And we also show within the Predictive Intelligence Workbench how you can monitor those prediction results, coming back to precision, coverage, etc., net automation. So we also have ways of monitoring the results, and you can't optimize what you don't measure. And well, that's actually what we give you. We will have tools to monitor the outcomes. I will take over the screen share. So let me just quick. Am I good, Timo?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So just consider this. I'm using a very simple example of creating an incident. So I am creating an incident, and I will do this for famous colleague Beth. And I will just state something like VPN is not working. Now, when I save this, actually nothing is happening. And so I have no machine learning in place. And what we want to do is we want to sort of predict category. So we want to predict the category inquiry, software, hardware. We want to predict this via machine learning because I don't know what it is. I think it is hardware. And I also want to predict the assignment group because if I need to fill this, I have to choose out of, in this case, 90 assignment groups. I have no idea. I think it is service desk. So I will save this, but actually those things are better done by predictive intelligence if you have a good historical database or data set. So how do we do this? I will use the predictive intelligence workbench. So if we go to the workbench, predictive intelligence workbench use cases, and we have create new from template. So we have those predefined use cases available in the predictive intelligence workbench. And the most common use cases for this case, for incidents or for change requests, are available in this workbench. And you can simply let you take you through the guided setup of the workbench. So for example, if I want to predict the assignment group for incoming incidents, what I need to do in the workbench is I start and I give my use case a name, give it a short description. I also give my model a name and a short description. And basically that's it. So I could now say start, and the model will be trained on, in this case, the short description out of the 56,000 something incidents that I have in this demo instance. I could go to advanced setup to adjust some filter criteria, but the most optimal setting is sort of preset. And if I press start, it will start training. Of course, I already did this because it takes some time to train a model. So if you have trained a model, and I did this for category and for assignment group, if I go to my created use cases, see a few, see here live on ServiceNow, so our webinar predict category, and here I have live on ServiceNow predict assignment group. So if I go in here, I see that I have a trained model available. So this is actually the outcome of the previous step. I press start, and after a while I get this model back. So I have step one completed. I have a model with net automation, precision, and coverage. So I see that it has a very high precision, high coverage, and the product of both is the net automation. So this is a very good model. I can also test my model. So if I go here, I will say, okay, I want to test this model, and basically do the same thing as I did before. VPN is not working. If I would run this test, I will get a result back, and it says, okay, I am 99% sure that with this short description, the predicted value is network. So basically, I can keep on testing, and if I'm satisfied with all my tests, I can integrate my model. So the next step is to integrate this trained model. So it will actually be used for the prediction. So in this case, I will state, I want to predict category for incoming instance. I want this model. I can apply a retraining schedule. So how often do I want it to be retrained? So that new incidents are taken into account in the prediction of, again, newer incidents. For now, I will leave it at once, and I integrate this. And again, that's it. Now it's integrated in my business model. So I now, when I create a new incident, the category will be predicted. I can do the same thing for the assignment group. So if I do this, I have, again, a trained model with also a lower net automation because the precision is a bit lower. Coverage is still pretty high. I can do the same thing again. So I can also do here, predict assignment group, and I do VPN is not working. I run my tests, and it predicts software as the assignment group. So I can do, again, a lot of tests, be happy or not, and integrate my model. So this will be it. So I can say, do this model. Again, I can apply a retraining schedule to it and say, integrate. So those are really simple guided setup steps to integrate those two machine learning models into your business process. So if I would now create a new incident, those values will be predicted. I will show you later. What I also want to show you is that you have influence on the model performance. So I can actually start within the predictive intelligence workbench, I can start tuning those values. So as said before, we have precision and coverage, and I can play around with those. So for example, I can state here, let's look for something. I have here a very low distribution. I can, for example, I can maybe exclude this. So if I say, if I set the precision to 100, the coverage will for certain go down. Probably it will go to 0. So then I exclude this class actually from my model. Or I'll state it like this. I can do this for all kinds of things. So I can state here the precision of HR system support is 89%. I can change this to a bit higher, but then again, the coverage will go down. So see, the coverage will drop in this case. So, and when training these models via the predictive intelligence workbench, the most optimal setting is already preset with this workbench. But if you have specific use cases where you want to exclude or focus more on precision or coverage, you can do so with tuning these values. Now going back to my incident. So let me check, this is integrated. If I go back to creating a new incident, so I will do the same thing, create a new incident. Let's create it for another famous colleague, Joe employee. We'll do the same thing, VPN is not working. So if I save now, I actually have my machine learning model kicking in, and the network will be predicted for category and software will be predicted for assignment group. So I'll see those two values predicted here. And actually what I want to show you as well is that these predicted values are also monitored. So if I'm looking to my, let me check if it's still open. We have a predictive intelligence workbench dashboard. which is monitoring the performance of those models. And here you see I have my two models selected. So the live on ServiceNow Predictive Assignment Group and live on ServiceNow Predictive Category. And the net automation is predicted, the precision is predicted. It's showing what has been predicted correctly and also what is being predicted incorrectly. So all of those things are being measured. And well, the main reason I want to show you this is that we had some examples of customers custom creating this, but you don't. So there is a out-of-the-box capability for this, which is measuring and continuously keeping track of what is being predicted and what is being the eventual output after the incident is closed. So let me go to just a bit behind the scenes. I will show you the table in which this is done. So this is the predict the results table, and you see here my incidents. This 10,073 number is here as well. So let me just show those two. So here you see what is being done. So you see the solution that is being executed, which table is the prediction is being run on. Currently, if it's being predicted correctly, but that is because there is no final value yet. The predicted input, so this is based on the short description, the two values that are being, or the two fields that are being predicted, and the predicted output value. And here you see final input value. So if I would eventually, for example, state that this is not software, but application analyst, and I would resolve this. So quick and dirty, say solved. Oh, sorry about that. Solved. I save this and I close my incident. Now, if I go to my predictor results, I see that we have one prediction correctly is true and one is false. And the false is, of course, the one that I changed. So this is a out-of-the-box capability. So each time an incident is closed, this table is being updated. And also, of course, the predictive intelligence workbench is looking at this. So this will be +1. Yeah, there it is. So you have those insights. You see how well your model is performing. And if your model is underperforming, you can start taking action on this, right? So you can maybe include better data, see where your model is mispredicting, and tune your model there. Let's go back to the presentation. I don't know, Timo, I will share, right? I will take over the share.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let me. Do you see my, see the PowerPoint now, Timo?
Yes, we can see it.
All right, perfect. So these are the things that we want to show you in the demo. Hope it was clear. In order for you to get started with this, we have a lot of resources available. So we have prepared some ways, or we have prepared some resources how you can get started and activating this in your own system. And we basically divided it in start now, educate yourself, and best practice. So we have a lot of playbooks available, documentation about predictive intelligence. We have several labs available from Knowledge, also courses on Now Learning, which specifically address predictive intelligence. we have some best practices. So we have a community page available. We included something about how you would tune your model. So we have documentation about this as well. And we included some success stories about some outcomes that we had at customers. So again, if we have some other sessions available, as mentioned in the beginning of this workshop. So we have this is part of a series, and we have a lot of other topics available in live on ServiceNow. So I think the link will be shared in the chat again. So check these out, and we hope to welcome you there. And actually now the time is for us to open up the floor for questions. I don't know if there were any questions already asked in the chat or Q&A. I see one that there is. Is there sample data which one can test how PI works? I'm not sure, Timo, if this is available within the plugins that we have.
So it comes with demo data. So incident management comes with demo data, but I don't know if the demo data is I think it's just the 7,000 incidents. So if you are going again to plugins and to incident management, for example, you can load the demo data, and you can try to just play around with those 7,000. I believe 7,000 comes with the plugins out of the box. But how good the results are, I don't know. The best way is really just clone a production to a sub-production or a sandbox if you have available, and just try it out there with your data instead of using sample data.
Okay,
another question was.
Sorry, continue, Timo.
I was just checking, Emmanuel. Is it okay with your question? Did it answer your question? Okay. Okay, thank you. Another question was that the link to the PI advanced topics from Now Learnings was not working for one attendee, so I posted a new one. Hopefully this is working. If not, just try to search Predictive Intelligence Advanced Topics if you're logged in Now Learning. So here's again the keyword that you can look for, and you will find the first thing that the search will give you is the link to this course.
It could be that maybe there is that you need to be logged in.
And we checked that already.
Okay.
I believe it's a ServiceNow employee versus non-employee thing. So for me, it's available. So we can just make it that better. Okay, other questions that we can answer? Okay, so the course is available. Second link. Okay, cool. Then we actually update our material. Thanks for checking, Dominic. If there's no other question, I think we can go to the last slide, Joost.
Well, the last one is actually that we want to thank everybody So I hope you enjoyed this session about predictive intelligence. As said before, that there are more webinars in this live at ServiceNow series. So please check this out and the link mentioned in the chat. And well, we hope to see you again in some of our other webinars. Thank you.
Thank you.